YouTube video. So let me go ahead and just get set up over here on the left. Be sure do a little quick refresh to be sure that I'm actually transmitillating. And it looks like, yes, I see movement in my screen, so that's good. All right. Just one thing before I get completely started, and I'm going to write this on here because I want it to be visible for anybody who is joining. No Zoom tonight. That would be 20, whatever this day is. Is this the 26th? Yeah, the 26th. 26 August. Okay, so you'll be able to see it. Hey, Shelly. Hi, Karen. Hey, Rosie. Hi, Glenda. All right, so here is the card that we are going to make today, and it uses the wonderful Shaded Summer, which is from the annual catalog, by the way. But I really kind of wanted to use it because I would like to encourage y'all to really think about adding summer shadows, the free die set. And this is only, hey Linda, hopefully you'll do well at the eye doctor and be able to come back and have eyes that work gooder to watch the replay. Good luck with that. So anyway, this is the Summer Shadows die set. You can get it for free right now during Celebration, which means through the end of September, which, if I'm counting my knuckles correctly, only has 30 days in it. So you've got a month and a little bit to get this into your pocket. $100 plus, and you can pick this one. And it cuts out, it's awesome. It cuts out this image, and also this, plus a whole bunch of standalone flowers that you can use to build pretty flowers to add to the lovely sentiments. So highly recommend. Okay, let's go. And yes, hello, happy National Dog Day. Finn is sleeping through it. He's in the bathroom sleeping. So, Also, this uses another free thing. This was a $50. This is the beautifully pinned DSP. And remember, this is the one. This one is very cool. It's like hand pinned, only it's in black and white and shades of gray. And it could be 50 shades of gray. I don't know. But you can see it really actually, the design actually does match the hand pinned DSP, only there's no color. So you can do all of the color adding that you want, or you can use it like I am, which is black and white and gray, and then letting other colors make the color into your card. Okay, so let's get started. All of the measurements and whatnot will be on my blog tomorrow, so you do not need to worry about that. The first thing I'm going to do is adhere this piece of DSP to a black mat. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Jerry, Angie, Victoria, Mary. Thank you, Mary. It is a wonderful set. It's one of my favorites. All right, stamp and seal. Let's get going here. All right, there we go. And we're going to use that. Okay. I'm going to adhere this to a black mat. I really love how sort of monochromatic, but with just a little color. So I've got Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent as part of the card base, but really the color comes from the die cut. All right, so we'll set that aside. And this is going to be, the first thing I'm going to do is show you a stamping technique with the Stamparatus. And we're going to color this smaller of the floral images, okay? So I'm going to stick this piece of cardstock, and that's why I have not already cut it, is because I want to show you the coloring process. That's kind of the point of this. Okay, so we're going to use what's called the marker to rubber technique. And I've got several Stampin' Right markers. I don't think I need Calypso Coral. This one must be, oh yes, I did need this. I'm going to show you why. So I have Calypso Coral, Polished Pink, Soft Succulent, Evening Evergreen, and Mango Melody. And basically all I'm going to do here is I'm going to color individual parts of this image with the Stampin' Right marker, and then I'm going to stamp over and over and over and over and over, which is why is one of the reasons that the Stamparatus is so very cool. All right. Hey, Karen, thank you so much. So I'm going to start. Let's go ahead and do our big flower first. And I'm going to do it in Mango Melody. obviously you could use any color for your flowers that you wanted because it's your bouquet, but I like this big one in Mango Melody. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I've got all of it colored. And then you kind of want to huff on it if you can. All right, and I'm gonna do it one more time just to give it a little more depth of color. So it's not, this is not like your speediest technique. I mean, it seems like it's, let me see how to say that. If you aren't on a video, it doesn't take very long, but it probably seems like a long time to y'all because I'm sitting here doing it over and over again. Hey, Amy. Now that Calypso coral, watch what I'm doing. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Yeah, here, I'm gonna move this over a little bit. I'm just gonna touch this right in the middle of that flower, okay? And then I will stamp it. And can you see what it did? It really just added a little bit of Calypso coral to the middle of the flower. Give it another little go. And that's all I'm gonna do with that. Okay, so I'll put that aside. And then I'm gonna color my small flowers with polished pink. I love polished pink. I am shocked by that. As I say every time I pull it out, everybody's like, okay, Mary, we got it. So you love polished pink, Mary. Okay, great. So I'm just gonna color all these little flowers. All right, and then I'll stamp it like that. And I love watching this image build, right? It's just kind of fun to watch it build up. And I'm not huffing because I'm too lazy to pick it up. If I was by myself and not trying to do a with the camera, I would just huff on it, but I'm not going to. Okay, so there we go, there's that. And now I'm going to take a little bit of Evening Evergreen and I'm going to color the leaves and the stems. Okay, so not the berries, but the leaves and the stems are going to be Evening Evergreen. So let's see, I've got, here's a leafy leaf right here. And here's a stem. And let's see, here's some lifts. Here's some lifts and a stem. And here's some stem. Okay, and that's flower, and here's a big leaf. Okay. Now, you do want to try to keep this color off of the rest of the images because otherwise you'll get weirdness where you don't want weirdness. Nobody wants weirdness on their images, right? Yeah, the blends really just don't really even, no. They don't work. They dry way too fast. And it really isn't their thing. That's why Stampin' Write markers are so awesome. What is the rule, you guys? My rule. It's my rule of thumb. It's certainly not a rule because a rule would be weird. My rule is when you buy an ink pad, I highly recommend that you also buy the Stampin' Write markers and the refill for that color. All right, because that way you are always ready with whatever you want. Yes, it does kind of look like 70s nail polish. I, of course, was just I was just an infant in the 70s. Not really, but let's go with that. Okay, now I'm using soft succulent for these little berries. And I'm gonna shut up for just a second because for some reason my brain just said you cannot color and talk. If you attempt to do that, you will put it where you don't want it. And I don't want to do that, okay? So I'm not going to do it. I'm going to say useless things, which is basically just talking about nothing, filling dead space. I learned watching WKRP in Cincinnati. Remember that old show? Who remembers that show? Raise your hand. Give me a thumbs up if you remember that show. Color your stamps permanently. Oh, nice. Yeah, let's not do that. I've never even tried to put blends on. So there you go. Okay, so it's starting to build. I'm going to go ahead and give these little berries one more little hit with some color. With a little more color. Kind of in the middle here. I'm just doing in the middle. Now I'm just messing around, man. I'm just messing around. And we'll add this on here and see what we got. And I'm good with that. I kind of like how that looks right there. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to set this aside for just a second. I'm going to clean this off because I want to close that. And I don't want it on my grid paper because we're going to use that in just a second. Look at that. I'm giving you like a little camera earthquake. Okay. And I'm going to go off screen stage behind me and cut it with the die from Summer Shadows, which is this one. So I'll be right back. Okay. Don't talk about me while I'm gone. All right. You'll be glad to know I have most of the other cutting done, so you won't even have to listen to me cut while you're with me, unless I mess up my sentiment, and then we're going to have to cut some more, but that's okay. Hang on a minute. My die keeps wiggling on me. Just a second. Just a second. I would sing the Jeopardy song right now, but gosh, there's been so much controversy about Jeopardy that I'm scared I might offend somebody. All right, there we go. So we're all lined up there, and we'll get this cut. Okay. Alrighty. And I'm back, and there we have our pretty die cut. Only saw a few episodes of Seinfeld, turkey episode of WKRP. Yeah, I don't remember all the episodes. I just remember that dead air is bad. You never want dead air on the radio. Okay, so we've got that. So now we're going to use the Stamparatus, and I'm going to show you one of its coolest features, which is hinge stepping, okay? So I'm going to flip this around. I've already got my sentiment on there, but I'm going to show you something. I'm going to risk it, okay, because I'm brave that way, and also maybe stupid. We'll just see. I do have two sides to this, so maybe we'll be okay. I'm going to put, this is my small piece of basic white. I'm going to put it in the middle of my Stamparatus. And I have my sentiment already on here. What I want you to do when you do this, I have the plate already in at full up, so like not down here, not down here. It's right in the base area. You're going to put your sentiment where you want the first one on your piece of cardstock, okay, and pick up your plate. And then you're going to pick up the cardstock and you're going to ink that sentiment with your first color of ink and stamp your grid paper. Okay, because what you're doing is this is your confirmation that your stamp is going to stamp straight. All right, remember I've told you these are dependent on how straight of a job they did engraving the rubber stamp and how good a job you did putting the sticker on. So it looks to me like where I have it is pretty straight, and I can tell because I've actually stamped my grid and I have those register lines. Grid paper is awesome. Okay. So now, hopefully without getting any ink on my white cardstock, I'm going to put my cardstock back in the same exact spot that I had it, like that. And I'm going to ink the sentiment again and stamp it, like so. Okay, good stamp, happy. I'm going to pick up the acrylic plate and move it down one space, okay? So I'm really kind of moving it like an inch down, okay? And then I'm going to, ink it again. This is called hinge step. So if you ever see that online and somebody doesn't tell you what it is, that's what this is. Hey, Debbie. And then I'm going to do it one more time. Move it down one more notch, so basically another inch, and give it another stamp, okay? Now I'm going to put it back up. Now, you have two ways to do this right here. You can clean off your stamp, like I'm going to do now, and then you can pick the stamp up off of the acrylic plate, lay it on your cardstock, pick it up, pick up your cardstock and check for straightness, or you can do like I'm fixing to do. I'm going to move the cardstock down 1/2 an inch, like that. Okay, I've still got the left side aligned with the left grid mark, the left ruler mark. I'm going to put my magnets back on. Okay, and then you can see I could stamp my first one here, but that's not where I want it. So I'm going to move it down one, and I'm going to put it right in the center there. This one is going to be soft succulent. Why? Why am I a bad influence? No, no, no. I am a good influence. I was a good enough influence that you joined the team, and now you're getting your discount, right? Okay, so I've got that image. I'm going to move down one, which is another inch. Stamp again. And do it uno más. One more time. One more time. All right, and there we have our perfectly spaced, perfectly lined up sentiments, thanks to the wondermous Stamparatus. All right, and we'll pick this up and be happy that, unlike the first time I did this, I got green right there, and it made me angry. But I didn't do it this time, so we're good to go. All righty. Hey, Bernadette, appreciate you joining. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to its basic black matte. Turn. And we'll pick that up and put it right there. Like a so, like a so, like a so, like a so. And I see a little splotch of something. There you go, just being a good citizen and helping you know the things that you not only need, but want. Or should I say not only want, but need. You need these things. Okay, now I'm going to use a little liquid glue here, so I have just a second to be sure that I'm putting it where I want it. Stampin' Seal's a little more, do it right now, do it right the first time. With this one, I have just a few seconds to play. And you're just going to make it lined up. Remember my graphic the other day on Facebook? I'm using this line right here and just eyeballing that the line continues straight so that I can make sure that things are straight. And then I've got these lines here for my edges, and I'm kind of just using my large vision to, you know, check it out. I have determined that I'm going to try using Stampin' Seal more often, okay? Just because I feel like I should. It felt like I was leaving out an entire piece of my repertoire. So I decided to use them. Okay, before you joined, I used some of the shimmer vellum, the In Color shimmer vellum, and this die from Summer Shadows to cut out one evening evergreen and two soft succulent leaves. All right, and I'm going to use my liquid glue here to adhere them onto my card front. And I'm going to do a quick dry fit just to be sure I get things where I want them, like so. And then that's going to have my flower image over the top, like right about there. Yep, I like it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put some liquid glue on there. Yes, I have an eraser. This is a mono. It's called a sand and rubber eraser. So this end is rubber. So this would be like what you would use to erase pencil. And then this side is sand, which if you were writing in pen, you might use for that. But it works extraordinarily well for small smudges of ink. Small smudges of ink. What you have to remember when you use it is it's actually removing a little layer of cardstock. So you have to be a little judicious. Use a circular motion with it, like so, and don't do it any more than you have to. So that's that. And I got that on Amazon, and it is a lifesaver, or a card saver. Lifesaver seems a little a little extreme, right? Okay, so we'll go ahead and put this on like so. And hold it down so it gets adhered as good as I can get it to adhere for a second. Liquid glue takes just another beat or two to dry. One thing that's so cool about this shimmer vellum is that it is a little more forgiving in the showing adhesive department. You know, in real vellum, you can really see where adhesive is. Now, it doesn't really matter so much with this because I am keeping it hidden under my die cut, but if I wasn't, I would certainly want to be thinking about that. All right. Okay, so there it is. We've got that going. Yes, it is a sand eraser on one end and a rubber eraser on the other. Okay, so now while that's all kind of getting situated, I'll put some dimensionals on the back of my die cut. I've, of course, picked up the least favorite strip, my least favorite strip, but I am going to use it, by golly. I've got a few of my half dimensionals. And then I will go ahead and put this on like so. Okay, perfect. Now, let me show you my little ribbon, my little bow. This is some polished pink sheer open weave ribbon. And I'm just going to take a little loop like this, not very big, doesn't have to be very big. And I'm going to close it up like so and kind of make like a little figure 8 here. And I'll hold it with my tweezers. And then I'm going to take some of the black baker's twine from the Baker's Twine Essentials, and I'm going to wrap it around there and tie a knot and then a bow. First, I'm going to tie a little knot. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a surgeon's knot. So let me show you this. You do an overhand like so, and then instead of going ahead and pulling it off of there like that, you go one more time around, and then when I pull it snug, it's going to stay there. If you only go that first time, the first thing it's going to do is let go as soon as you let go of the tension. So by using the surgeon's knot, it stays right where I want it, which is like right there. Did that make sense? Now, for all of you surgeons in the audience, if that is no longer a surgeon's knot, I learned that about 1,000 years ago. If that's no longer a surgeon's knot, just don't tell me. Just smile and nod. It's okay. It's not that critical. If it's not a surgeon's knot and you're a surgeon, please do not use it. I'm just saying. If that will not keep the sutures tight, then do not use it under any circumstances. And then I'm just going to pull this snug till it's down to the size that I want. And I've actually got a little bigger ribbon bow than I think I want, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that down just a little bit so that it's a little more delicate, a little more of a delicate flower, like so, but even, still even. And then we'll pull this down, snug it down, and put it on with the glue dot. There, perfect. Perfect. I will take that for $1. I'll take that. Are y'all tired of me yet? Oh, I've got 6 minutes. Can she do it? Yes, she can. I'll put a little glue dot right there, and then we'll put our bow on, like so. And I will trim the edges. Those are not edges, those are ends. Hello. And we'll cut this, and cut this. And there is that. Now, I'll put on a couple of in-colored jewels. I was really surprised. I have to show you something. I know I keep talking about polished pink. I'm sorry. So I have all these packets of jewels, right? And look, this is brand new, not open. This is my first 2 packs. I expected a Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent and really even the pale papaya to be gone. I was shocked that I had to open another package because my polished pink ones were gone. That just really doesn't compute with me at all. And if you've been following me at all, you know that's like weird. Really, really weird. But I'm going to put 2 of these up here in the corner. And then I'll put this little larger one down in this corner to balance it out. And that is our card front. Okay. Now, the inside is very, very, very easy. I know, Rosie, what in the world? That was a surgeon's note 100 years ago when I... See, okay, it was. It was. And it probably still is because it works. It works real good. Real good, I'm just saying. All right, on the inside, we're going to stamp Happy Birthday in Evening Evergreen. Thank you. Have I tried cutting that ribbon down the middle so that you have 2 thinner strips? I have not. It's a good idea, Angie. Thank you. I will try that. That is a good idea. All right, so I'm going to... I have already tested this on graph paper, so I know it's pretty straight. Both Stampin' Up! And I did a pretty good job getting the image onto the block straight. All right, now we'll take some soft succulent, and I'm going to use the little berry sprig die. This is not a die. This will never be a die. This is and always will be and will forevermore be a stamp. So let's use a stamp, and I'm going to ink it with soft succulent. I'm going to stamp it off 1 time on my grid paper, and then I'm going to stamp it over the top of my sentiment, and I'm going to do it twice without re-inking. And that is all there is on the inside. Let me go ahead and stamp the front of my envelope while I'm here. I'm going to do full price, as in full strength, and I'm just going to stamp once, twice, 3 times a lady, like that. Yeah, Lionel has nothing to worry about, just saying. And since I've got it here, what the heck, we'll put on a piece of the DSP onto our envelope flap. Like a shoe. And give it a trim. And then we'll just assemble the card and we'll be done. Scare. Hey, Teresa, appreciate you joining. Give that a trim. And that little piece of paper right there was almost exactly 2 1/8 inch wide, so it barely fit the flap, which I think is very efficient use of DSP. Just so happy with my efficiency. All right, now we're going to go ahead and put this onto our basic black mat. And into our Evening Evergreen card base, right after I add another polished pink gem, because I can, and they're so pretty. I love this color combination. Evening Evergreen, soft succulent, polished pink, and some black. We'll put that right there. Isn't that such a pretty pop of color? So beautiful. All right, don't know why I got an accent right there. Take it back, it's coming back. Thanks. Appreciate it, you guys. And we'll get this going again. All right. Oops. Getting adhesive all over me. Worse than when I do with liquid glue. What in the world, Mary? I guess the truth of the matter is, let's just be honest here. I'm a bit of a pigger. And this, of course, is a gum eraser, which is perfect for picking up glue. There we go. And this one is getting kind of gross and gummy, so this is what I do when I'm not happy with how it's doing. I just cut the edges off, okay? And you might think that's wasteful, but it takes a really long time to get to the point where it really needs to be done. But you'll know, because it'll do what it just did right there, which was get goop on my card. All right, and then I'm going to use some black Stampin' Dimensionals. These happen to be the minis, but it's because what I picked up. I just like the black against the black matte and the black, or and the evening evergreen. That just, it seems to blend in a little more. Thank you guys. Thanks, I appreciate that very much. Hey Pat from Titus, Alabama. Now where is Titus, Alabama? I'm familiar with Birmingham, Huntsville, Dothan, Montgomery, Prattville. Okay. Make sure I'm putting it on the right place. You know, we want the wrong side up and the right side down. And there we go. What you think, guys? I kind of like it a lot. All right. Hey, Linda. And there we go. I love polished pink. I'm sorry. I just do. I can't help it very much. It's not in my wheelhouse at all, but I really, really like it. But look what you can do with the marker to rubber image coloring, so that you can get multiple colors in what is essentially one image. All right. So again, no Zoom tonight. Okay. And there will also not be a Facebook Live video on Saturday evening. Okay. No Facebook Live on Saturday evening. Everybody copying? Thumbs up if you're copying. No Facebook Live. Here, I should write that down too, so you'll see it. No Facebook Live on Saturday. That way everybody will see it when they watch. Okay. Thank you all for putting up with me today and spending part of your day with me. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next week for the Zoom on Monday or next Thursday for another YouTube video. Thanks so much, you guys. Alrighty, bye.